Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad. A very tired Toogie here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad. Now, here's the deal. You're going to notice that this video is probably a little bit shorter. That is simply because I want to get back on track with having the next two episodes, at least I think it'll be the next two episodes, be the full length hour plus, because we are approaching our second to last season. We have 2 years left with this team. Of course, last year we're coming off a very disappointing season. The draft went terribly for the most part. We lost Nolan Foote. This team's in a very interesting spot. I have to be, I'd say, pretty careful with what I do here. So I want to take the time to focus. I want to take the time to set up this team right. And as I mentioned, I am also quite tired. If you follow me on Twitter, which you should, it's good. It's good for updates and other things. If you follow me on Twitter, and just in general, I guess if you pay attention to the news and such, you would know, hell, you might even know yourself, that the Northeast U.S. got kind of slammed with a blizzard. Of course, I put a video on Twitter the other day of Emmy in the snow. Freddie wants a 4-year deal, by the way. That's amazing. That is amazing that he wants a 4-year deal. I'm probably gonna wait to sign him, and I think I'll give him one of the big time contracts. Now, I might not have to play this completely safe. I'm still going to. Just to make sure that out of nowhere a ton of people aren't asking for crazy good contracts. But yeah, you may have seen, me put up that video of Emmy playing in the snow. And the bottom line is, upload-wise, I've still stayed consistent. Twitch-wise, it's taken a little bit of a dive in the past couple of days, and that's just because my sleep schedule right now is an absolute wreck. Having to factor in that storm, I had to intentionally screw up my schedule to make sure I could still get everything done that had to be done work-wise, and it's just it's a mess right now. I mean, I'm talking waking up, later than when I'd normally stream. So for those who watch the stream, you're probably exactly how screwed up my schedule is right now, especially being East Coast, East Coast U.S. Eastern Standard Time. It's not fun right now. It takes me a couple of days. Typically, it's one of those things where I basically have to commit to staying up for 24 hours on one day, just to try to get to bed at 8 p.m. or later, wake up at 6 or 7. It's a whole cycle. It's always been that way, though. I remember even during summer vacation, when I was in middle school and high school and everything, oh my god, so many late hours. That was just my schedule, and in part due to playing games with friends and everything. But yeah, rough times. Rough times. But that's okay. So, for those who are wondering about that, because I haven't really talked about it a whole hell of a lot, the Twitch side of things will get back on track soon, which will be nice. The good thing is, too, and I'll talk about this series and the YouTube side of things in a second. The good thing is with that as well, I finally got my answer from Twitch as far as getting partnered. The answer was no. The answer was no, so I can just go and continue my play whatever the hell I want strategy instead of just, only playing NHL. So look forward to a whole bunch of variety, particularly of the PlayStation 4 variety, especially as we approach MLB The Show 18. That said, on the YouTube side of things, YouTube always has been my main focus. It's definitely going to be my main focus heading into the summer. Obviously, this series is very close to its end. If you haven't already, check out the Things and Stuff update video where there is currently a poll. I was going to have today be the last day. I'm going to have there be one more day because the vote right now is extremely close as far as what our next series is going to be. So if you haven't checked out that video, if you haven't voted in that poll, feel free to do so, as you have a chance to help influence what we do next on this channel, at least in terms of, as I'm just going to spam the A button here, as a lot of people rejected, at least in terms of a fantasy style series. Obviously, as I've mentioned, we'll have the straightforward series back whenever I'm done editing the rosters, which I've already put in quite a bit of work, especially adding players to the game. So I'm hoping within a week or two, maybe at most, I'm not sure, hopefully not two, but at some point, I will finish editing said rosters, and we'll get another series good to go. So I'm looking forward to the return, in whatever form it is, of a Nations United style series. And I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, the more straightforward series, like, straightforward as in you look at the Montreal series from earlier this year, that type of series with no special gimmick. I'm looking forward to seeing what team you guys select, because I will leave it up to a vote. I'm more than likely, I'll probably leave teams off of the list that we've used before. I know I've talked about the idea of having, like an annual Bruins series. I don't think I'm going to do that. I might do it on Twitch. Like, that might be a go-to. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should do Rebuilding Hockeytown again, a Vancouver series, an Islanders, a Rangers series, because you didn't get much time with those teams. And I understand that. I mean, no doubt, if you look at, it would be fun to use all 31 teams this year. It would be fun to do the expansion option, which we already did with Hartford, which, thank God, by the way, I picked Hartford, because everyone else has done Seattle for the most part. Shout out to X-Tech, by the way, who has just began his Seattle series. Check out that first episode if you have not already. Cannot recommend X-Tech enough, and go support him as he continues the YouTube grind. He deserves it. That said, as we have players rejecting contracts, I think I covered pretty much everything. The Twitch side of things, the YouTube side of things. Most importantly, as I mentioned, go vote in that poll. It's very, very close right now, and if it stays that close, I might have to make a judgment call and decide what happens between the two most voted on options. Because like I mentioned this in that video as well, depending on what the vote is, certain nations will and will not be eligible. So it leaves the option up to you guys, which is how I prefer to run things. So like I mentioned too, as far as a straightforward series, I'd love to reuse Vancouver. I think it'd be very interesting to do another Manhattan project with the Rangers, just because of where they currently are and how different that team is in just a few short months, really. You got to figure, we had the Manhattan project going on over the summer. Look at how different the New York Rangers are between now and then. So that definitely would be an interesting series to revisit, but I think we'll look for a first-time team. So again, God, who does that exclude at this point? Montreal, Boston, Vancouver, the Rangers, the Islanders. I feel like I'm the Red Wings. It's gonna be good using a team that we haven't used. Although I gotta admit, I have a feeling a Western Conference team is going to win. Even though, I'm not sure what team we'll use for the host Nations United. Someone brought up I don't know, someone brought up the point, like, they felt like I used more Eastern Conference teams. I don't know if that's true, but for some reason I have a feeling that the Western Conference is going to win out in that vote. But again, that vote will be whenever I'm done updating or customizing the rosters. Until then, we will have that Nations United series, as Freddie wants to be paid. He wants that term. I'm not willing to give it to him. But what I will do is give him a boatload of money, because he deserves it, and I'm going to have to sign a free agent or two anyway. Not to mention, I could just sign him. I could sign him to an 8-year deal if I wanted to, which I might as well, because I don't plan on getting rid of him anytime soon. Johnston is being difficult. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. Here's the thing I'm worried about with Johnston, is if we potentially have to trade him, if he's going to lose his spot in the offseason. I did not think it would take 9 to 10 minutes here just to get to the re-sign phase, but people are being difficult. People are being quite difficult. So it's just Freddie, Johnston, and we don't have to worry about Ruedel. So it's just those guys, those two, that need to be signed, and then we are good to move on, which hopefully I don't make a stupid mistake here. On top of the mistake that a lot of people think I made in the last episode, not taking one of the people in the top 10. Wow, Johnston, you are killing me here. I mean, again, we know we're keeping Freddie. That's why I'm willing to give him that ridiculous contract. I don't know if I want to give Johnston that deal. I mean, I might as well. But, I might as well at this point, right? In terms of player development, we're in a pretty rough spot to begin with. So, I'm going to go... Again, it's going to make it difficult to trade him if I have to, but I'm going to go 1 year at $5 million. I feel like even at that amount of money, I don't think a team will accept the trade, but I could retain salary, so it might work out. And as it's shaping up, I'm still going to have to sign a veteran to a ridiculous contract. So let's see here. There we go. Johnston accepts. Let's move on to the start of the preseason, as we'll get this set up and good to go. Again, I think I covered everything. This is the issue of recording when I'm quite tired and I've just had a couple of fairly ridiculous days. But what are you going to do? Like I said, I think I covered everything. Covered YouTube. Covered Twitch. I think we're good. I think we got it all taken care of. But yeah, like I said, in terms of how I'm viewing both the YouTube and Twitch side of things, like I mentioned, YouTube's always been the priority. It will continue to be the priority. Because, boy, man, leading up to the storm, I was streaming like every day, which I love. Which I do love. But a lot of people are like, oh, you gotta push for partner. It's like, well, who cares? It's like, who cares? I'm hoping that I'll get it over the summer. Let's say that. As I take a sip of Arnold Palmer. I'm not surprised that that didn't happen. But, it's all well and good. Maybe we can get it over the summer when people have a bit more spare time. Speaking of spare time, I'm trying to figure out. I was gonna make a video. Talking about this. I don't know if I will though. And so you can figure it out when I talk about the tournament that was announced. You can probably figure out that I'm recording this at a very odd time, at least for me. I gotta admit, the NHL 18, the NHL sponsored tournament was announced today as well. Speaking of spare time, I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with that. Obviously, not the biggest fan of the gameplay this year, which is why Ultimate Team has basically disappeared from the channel. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, it's exciting news for the community, at least, and it's nice for the NHL to get involved and make that push. Esports wise. Now here's the thing: as we focus, and that's the thing. Like I said, I was gonna make a video about it. It's really all I have to say. It's like, well, I'm not personally the biggest fan of the gameplay. No, still gonna be cool. Still gonna support the people that take part, even if I might take part myself. I don't know. I got a little bit of time to decide. Let me know what you guys think, though. That tournament. Are you going to register? If you don't know what I'm talking about, hopefully I remember to leave a link in the description, but it's kind of hard to have missed the news. If you're watching this video, odds are you know exactly what it is. But let's see. I mean, Grigorenko and Frazee both need to be signed. Like, there's no doubt about that. The question is, Brodin will probably be the NHL backup. So we'll have these two in the AHL. Schremp's not really going to be a factor in time in the next 2 years. So between Brooks, Platt, and Acker, who plays with Brodin? Do we keep Tom Brooks there? Of course, Brooks had a pretty rough year, but for the most part, he's been a very consistent backup goalie in his career. Platt's coming off a .923 save percentage and 22 appearances in the AHL last year, and Acker has done very well at the AHL level. But I'm going to stick with the long-time tandem, I think. I'm going to trade away Platt and Acker, which again, at this point, I'm just going to, I'm going to move these 2 players. Question is, where can I move them, if to the same spot at all? It's not looking too good. I need a team that has the cap space and one that doesn't have 6 goaltenders signed already, which the AI does love to sign goaltenders. Edmonton, will this work out? Hey, it might work out with Edmonton. Neat. I'll take a nice shiny second round pick for the 2 of them. That seems fair, because I don't think the first rounder... no, it won't. The first rounder won't go through, but I will take a nice shiny second round pick away from Edmonton. So we stack the picks there for the first time, or stack players to get a higher pick for the first time in a while. Which, to be honest, yeah, it did sign Frolov for me. I should have signed the goaltenders I was going to sign first, but it's fine. I mean, that squeaky chair makes its presence known. It's fine. It's fine. Be all well and good. It doesn't really matter that the game signed a goaltender for me. So we'll bring in Frazee. And then in the system, again, it's Frazee and Grigorenko. We'll leave Schremp unsigned at the moment. I still need to sign a veteran as well. Maybe even 2 at this rate, just to take up some cap space. But let's check to see what this team is going to be. So goaltending is figured out. It's still going to be Brooks and Brodin at the NHL level with Grigorenko and Frazee. Then again, I mean, regardless, one of them is going to have to be a backup. Because even if I play them at the NHL level, you know, with auto-rotate on to make sure they get their starts, one of them has to be a backup anyway. So we might as well just leave them both down in the AHL. Then on defense here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking. Johnston might have to be traded. So in terms of top 4, we do have our 4. Andreoff is depth, which means between Ruedel, Pagadawan, and Johnston, one of them has got to go. I don't think the Johnston contract is going to be tradable, but it's worth a shot. Is there any team that can take this deal? I don't know if there is. This is pretty rough. I don't think there's a... Oh, Colorado's our only hope. Will you take Johnston for a 7th round pick? That's all I'm asking. A 7th round pick. Just take him off our hands. Oh, okay, cool. They'll do it. You know, it's fine by me. Johnston, we'll see you later, bud. Thank you for the 7th rounder. As we get that cap hit off the books, we make room for Ruedel at the NHL level. I mean, not that, you know, getting that bad contract off the books was a necessity, but it's better than sitting him down in the AHL. Which, again, I know those players, you know, medium top 6 can kind of play at the AHL level without getting pissed off. Problem is, though, I want those spots for other people, you know, that we already have. So we're going to sign Ruedel, and let's see if we can figure out what the AHL team is going to look like here, and whether or not we have to trade away any other players. So, see, that's why I was thinking that we might have needed to sign 2 players, which is looking likely at this point. So let's see. Defense. Of course, Ruedel right now listed as being in the minors. That's not going to be the case. Actually, was I mistaken here? You know, the last time I left Emmy barking in the game, people were like, oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. So I cut it out this time. Anyway, god, what was I doing? I was looking at top 4. That's what I was doing. So we have our top 4. I still need to get rid of one more guy. No, that's right. Andreoff is going to play in the AHL. Right, never mind. So Andreoff is in the AHL. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. So the question is, do I sign Nemish? That is the question. So again, we have Andreoff, Bonks, Lyndon Sloan, Nichols, and Winnick. I need to sign Nemish. The rest of these guys can kick rocks because they're not worth a damn thing to us. So let's go ahead and get these deals done. Again, we'll just take back a whole bunch of nothing to clear that out. And let me see what else we're going to do here. Is unfortunately the morale's taking a bit of a hit But that's okay. So again, Andreoff, Bonks, London, Sloan, Nichols, Winnick. So these two are going. The question is, who else gets traded? Who else gets traded? Andreoff stays. 22 years old, medium top 4, but he's a 73. I gotta make room for Nemish. So yeah, he's 22. Pagadawan's going to play at the NHL level. Either that, or I get rid of Pagadawan and let Andreoff play at the NHL level, which does make sense. And in that way, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would be looking pretty damn good. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to get rid of Pagadawan, Kavanaugh, and Brain. Sorry, Brain, that you're not going to get to stick around for all that long, but what can you do? I need a team with a couple of contract spots. Looks like we're going to work out a deal yet again with the Colorado Avalanche. I will look to take back a pick here, though. Let's see if I can get that nice, shiny third rounder. Thank you very much. So that is taken care of. Didn't expect to trade Pagadawan. Made sense, too. Let's see what else we can do here. We still have to sort out the forwards as well, so I knew we were due for quite a few off-season moves as well. So this would have turned into a ridiculous video if we were to have also tried to sim through any bit of the season. So we'll sign Nemish. Now we'll sort out the forwards. We'll have to sign some veterans so I can actually call up and send down whomever I want. And then we'll be good to go. We'll be ready for next episode with our penultimate season. Again, we have 2 years left. It's unreal to think that we are this far into this series. Doesn't seem possible to me. So as far as overall goes, that's our top 12 at Polasek. And then that is the next 12 at keeping. So we just got to decide who is worth getting into the lineup. Who is worth getting in the lineup? So the bottom 6 guys are out. Is Whitman able to be signed? He is. He's American. But I'm not really worried about Whitman, Card, and T-Ball because they're not great and they're not going to develop in time. I'd rather keep guys like Baumgartner, Sanderson, McTaggart, and Clymer, who are basically what these guys would have become anyway. So that kind of makes sense. Let's see, though. Can I get your second round pick? No, I cannot. Well, worth a shot. I had a feeling that might not go through. I'll settle for the 4th. Normally, would go for the 7th. I'll settle for the 4th round pick. Didn't mean to back out. That's all right. What's an extra couple of seconds, right? What's an extra couple of moments? So again, forward-wise, we have our 12. We have these 3 guys unsigned. Nicholas is signable. Para is signable. Clark is not. So I need to free up 2 spots. 2 spots. And actually, you know what? Let's double check here overall wise. I want to check player role. So we should... Yeah, there's a couple extra guys here that have 4th. Cashman and McChesney. So I feel like I need to... Well, there are the 2 spots. It's going to come from the NHL side of things, though. Cashman, McChesney, and then Polasek up. So Cashman's already capped out, where he's going to be 20-point guy. He's not terrible. Pretty well-rounded. McChesney still has a little bit of potential. Hasn't played at the NHL level yet, though. Then we have someone like Harry Polasek. Offensively a bit weak. Defensively only 82 defensive awareness. But he is rapid. He's a hell of a skater. So it's either Cashman, McChesney, or Polasek. 2 out of 3 gotta go. I'm going to say Cashman's gone. I'm going to say Polasek is gone. And we're going to see what McChesney can do at the NHL level. That's if I can find a deal here. It might have to be with Colorado again, just because they're the only team that can take some of these contracts. How about a 4th round pick this year? Thank you very much. We will see Cashman and Polasek on the other side. You never know. Colorado might be able to make the playoffs. Let's go sign who we have to sign, including the veterans, of course, once we sign our rookies here. So unsigned, we need Nicholas and Para, and we have to hope by some miracle that they can develop in time, which they won't. But hey, we're going to treat this like we don't have an end date on this series. We're going to treat this like we're going to go for another 25 years, even though we are very much not. We are, of course, very close to the end of this run. I was trying to see here if we had any familiar names. It's not looking too good in that regard. Any former Anaheim picks? That's my question. Hey, Frank Reefers. There we go. I don't know. Again, people were saying this was back in. Can I sign him to the $20 million deal? Frank Reefers. That is a player I forgot about, to be honest. He had some good seasons for us, though. Played him at center, played him on the wing. Not too shabby. Who else do we have here? Anybody? Any Anaheim selections? Former Anaheim picks? Maybe, possibly. Not looking too good now at this point, because all of our picks are amazing. So no one's... There we go. Tristan Noakes. I don't even remember this guy. 6th round pick in 2026. Not quite the familiar name I was looking for. Tristan Noakes. Anybody else? It's gotta be somebody, right? Anybody? Hey, nope, nobody else. All right, nobody else was available. Well, let me see if I can sign Reefers, and then we'll take it from there and just sign some random. It'll be fine. Also, 69% locker room chemistry. That's very nice. Reefers did accept, so I guess they fixed that where it wouldn't auto assign him just the max entry-level deal, which is nice. I'm glad they fixed that. People were telling me that they fixed it. I wasn't sure if I believed you guys. I should have. I was foolish to doubt you. As we'll sign Tursunbayev to the max deal that we can. We'll get him in here, and then we'll be able to call up and send down whoever we want. We'll take a look at what this team is shaping up to be for our penultimate season. It'll take a little bit of magic. It'll take a miracle, a gift from the hockey gods to find any sort of success this year. But you never know. So there we go. Goaltending is set. Defense is not. We got to call up Ruedel. We don't want to play him in junior. He's going to be on this team immediately. Which, what is he now at this point? 19 years old, 79 overall. Not bad. Former number 2 overall pick. And then on the offensive side of things, McChesney, of course, gets the opportunity that he can hopefully make the most of. So, offensively here, I only have a first and a second line forward. You know, I'm gonna have to take a look. Like, Alos is gonna be on the 4th line. Anybody else that was up here was 4th line eligible? Just Henridius and Boss. So we got McChesney, Delmonte, who's medium elite. So I think it's got to be Henridius, even though he's high top 6. He's 24. So I think that that 4th line will be Alos, McChesney, and Henridius. On the 3rd line, Spencer Walls is looking all right in terms of puck skills, which is a little bit surprising. How does he compare to Tambellini? He's a better shooter. Walls, the former enforcer, but he's looking all right. Yeah, I mean he's looking like a decent enough option. So I'll have Boss on the right with Tambellini on the left and Delmonte at center. And on that, oh man, see now here's where it's tough because Pandolfo was great a season ago. Not saying why. I mean, we didn't sim into the season, did we? I don't think I did. We might have simmed into the season accidentally. Might not have been able to stop it in time. Had 62 points 2 years ago. Yeah, I think I accidentally simmed into the season. Nice. I don't know how I want to do this. To be honest, it might be worth going Geispers, Wild, and then Pandolfo, Pratt, and Walls. Could easily flip Pandolfo and Geispers if we wanted to. But I'm thinking those are the combinations. On defense, we're going to go McDonough, Wilcox, and then Fairchild, Castonguay, just because the Castonguay-McDonough pairing has not worked. We have Ruedel and Andreoff on the third pairing, which I wouldn't mind playing Ruedel on a higher line, but doesn't make all that much sense in terms of the morale system. Of course, that old thing that's cost us quite a bit of maneuverability, I'll say, in terms of how the series has played out. So let's see, medium elite. I mean, goddamn, the potential's here, though. We'll go. Do I want to have Bonks there? I'll go Linden. We'll have Bonks and a Nemish and Stone, or Nemes and Sloan, I should say. I mean, the defense is looking pretty damn good, I got to admit. So that's nice how that's turned out. And we got to take Reefers out, not for Mironov, but for Nicholas. And we'll take a look at our highest potential guys here, although Semenov's not ours either. Did I get rid of one too many people? I might have gotten rid of one too many people, to be honest. Not like it's devastating or whatever. I can just play Reefers, who cares? He's eligible because we drafted him once. That's my decree. He is a former draft pick, therefore he is eligible. Unfortunately, in terms of the forwards here, the selections aren't tremendous. I think we'll have some form of the combinations that we currently have up right now, at least in terms of the lines there. Again, defense is set. The teams are good to go. There might be a couple of slight alterations. Unfortunately, it did. Actually, no, it's just counting preseason. Okay, never mind. I wasn't quite sure, because sometimes you know how you hit B, and it's like, no, I'm going to sim an extra hour and a half into the season. Hope you don't mind. I figured that's what happened. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this one, this abbreviated episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad. Like I mentioned, the next episode will be our penultimate season. We have 2 years left to try and pull off a miracle. And of course, after what happened with Nolan Foote, his first year of retirement, the question remains, Marcus Brodin and Frederick McDonough, what happens in the near future with those 2 legends? I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, check out that other video that's on the channel right now. Everything else I mentioned, you know the deal. Have a good one, guys. I thank you again so much for watching. Appreciate your time. Again, hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. I'll catch you next time.